Hello and welcome back to my channel, Checks, Captures, Threats. Today's video will be going over now game 26. We'll be playing in the Rapid Increase. So, we lost last time out, I believe. So, a little bit of time ago now. And let's try and get hopefully get a win back on the board. If we lose, we're obviously not going to drop below 1800 yet, which is good. So, we're against someone who is 1800 and immediately plays G3. So, I think we're going to respond with D5, just a normal opening here. I don't really want to get anything in the business, something like the French sort of vibe. So we're going to go Knight F6 here. Now, also, I just want to say, in the FIDE online arena that I'm doing, that road to AGM, I will be not doing 2 games now. I'm just going to play a bunch of games off camera, and I'll do a weekly recap of how I've done. Just otherwise, I think we'd be lasting multiple years trying to do it. So, good start so far. He's been able to develop here. Now, I like to develop this bishop more or less because I'm not really having any chances of being attacked. I think what we're going to do is create a quiet pin, I'd call it here, because it's not really pinning anything, but it will maybe. He's going to attack us. Now, I'll be very surprised if he attacks us again here, as it's very aggressive on this king side. Now, I don't mind going here because this will be what protects our king now, as if he pushes again, our knight is not even in a bad spot, as we can attack the center with e5. So he's now going to play a move like this. That makes a lot of sense. Now I think we have to respond with, I think, a move of our own that protects that, because I think if we push, we're giving a very nice piece. Now if we push, obviously we're going to expect a trade-off here. We've got our knight protecting this as well, and I guess we'll get our bishop out perchance there, and then get our knight to h5. So I think quite good so far. About 30 seconds lower than him on time, or them. So, let's see. So this goes from... Okay. Anyway, let's see. So is he looking at double Franchettoing here? Now, this is where we might have to push forcefully here, just because of how we might put his pieces. Although this is a very nice bishop, this line. I'd like to castle. So, obviously, I'm going to get my bishop out now. Now, he is actually going to Franchetto again here, which I do find a little bit strange. Now, if I was to push, I do think this e3 move does kind of limit me. So, I'm a little bit tentative doing that. I think we're just going to castle here, and we're going to try and get this nice line. Now, we've got to be careful, because we are bunching pieces up here in this sort of area. We might want to try and simplify a little bit out here, because this push here limits us to our knight coming back here. That's fine. This pawn push here can show something, but obviously we've got our knight there at the minute. But if they do both of them, when they do this, we go back to d7 and they push h4. It's a little bit of trouble for us, but I think we can just move our bishop back to h5, creating this pin again. Now, I'm expecting this knight to come out anyway. I'm not expecting him to make any moves like that just yet. So, obviously tomorrow we are starting a new series with the gambits. Hopefully you're going to enjoy that. I've already got a game for you we'll be going through. It'll be another one of those like 10 minutes ones, like an example game, but just it's going to be the games I've played, not Grandmasters. So got that. But at the minute, let's see what's going on here. It's a very nice position. He's taking his time now, I think, trying to find the right moves. Every piece is doing stuff. I think we're looking at these rooks trying to go for this sort of file, this line. This queen is the only thing that's probably not, sure. I kind of want to put it on d6, but then it traps the bishop, and I also try to put it in c7 or b6. Now, he has moved his knight. I understand why he's done that, but I feel like he should be trying to get this knight out soon. As obviously he's attacking here. I'm probably looking at this push, which I wouldn't say is good at all, because I can just push and block everything in. Now, normally this is a nice move, but it's not really attacking too much, so I'm kind of leaning towards getting my queen onto c7 here, and then getting a rook onto either c8 or d8 here, and keeping that line. I think that's quite a nice strong move here. So, the main thing here I want to do is get this rook off of this diagonal, and make sure nothing is on this diagonal. Those are the cross paths that we do not want to get anywhere near, other than maybe like a knight or something there. Now, he does do this push, so by my understanding here, if I just push here, he can't get any pawns now to block this. This blocks his knight in, and he can't push again. And now I understand what he's going to try and do next is this f4 push. But is that going to be good enough? I mean, I'm just going to push this pawn here. But is that going to limit all of my pieces off? Now, it's going to make my bishop go into the corner for now, which I do not mind if I'm blocking in that. So I'm gonna try it out here. He can't push, which is good, and we know he's going to do this push. I think that's the whole plan he's got here. And we're going to counter his plan. Now, we have a few ideas to actually counter this plan. I don't think this works, as after this whole capture, we have to move the bishop, and we'll actually lose that pawn there. So he's actually just going to develop his knight. So he's not... I think he doesn't want to do this because otherwise he ruins his king structure. So if we was to push up 2 now and they push, we could do that. So I do not like this. I think we should block this off though. A6 looks like a very nice move to just limit off that piece. I'm going to guess he's going to try and get that there. So we'll just stop anything coming that way. And he's going to play f4. We expected that. There's not really a way we could stop it. We could have pushed his pawn, but this was going to come in at a little bit of rate to none. So I think we're limited to push this pawn here. Now he might try and do this, which I would be honest is not the best idea I think he has. I think there's definitely more he could do here. So we're just going to push up 1. I'm going to guess he's going to push this and try and trap my bishop in, which for now isn't too bad for me. I do not mind that, but we'll see. If he does that, I will just trade off easily and get my knight on the rim here because I'm attacking his g5 pawn, and then I'll be able to bring my knight in anywhere like there. So I would say that's a mistake if he tries to play g5 here, but we'll see what goes on now. But his piece is definitely a little bit weirder than ours, I think, where they're placed, honestly. But obviously, these pawns are quite like the Great Wall of China right now. So, could push and then limits that, so it's not the best. We need to try and get some pieces active. Now, when I say pieces, this is pawns or rooks. A rook move might be nice just to get off this file for the minute. But at the same time, this pawn push looks ever so daunting to try. Even this knight move. But I think we should move the rook first. I'm fancying this rook going on to c8 now. I'm going to do that. Didn't really get this queen move. I think he just wants to put his rook. Yeah, he wants to put his rook and try and create a monster attack down to e5 here. Try and put pressure there. This pawn's going to be quite weak. So actually, I might play a little bit of a move here that's going to guarantee that we could try and win that after this push. We could move back and put a very great big pressure on here. So we're actually going to try that because we can't be attacked right now here. He can't even come back with this knight. So we're expecting this move. Now this is where we could take straight away here, forcing a move. And then we capture here. If they capture us with their pawn, it's going to be, I believe, a pawn and a rook for 2 pieces, which is 6 points each. Now, in a position like this, we don't know what we'd want more. Sometimes having 2 rooks is better than having a rook, a bishop and a knight, but at the same time, might be the other way around. So, see what he's going to play now. He's spending good time here as well, which means that we're not, playing wrong moves anywhere. So, it's looking good. Now, I kind of want to move this knight straight away so I can have an idea of by any means trying to push. Because this knight is limiting this pawn and this bishop, should I say. So, I think we're just going to move this here. Stop all of that. So this comes out like this. Now I will say that might have been a mistake here. The only thing I will say now, if I take and there's a take here, obviously there's a double attack. The only thing now I've got to look at is we can play this bishop out here. So that means that we're going to be having a rook. Like we said, it's going to be 2 bishops for a rook and a pawn here, I think. The only thing is our defense is going to be quite limited here. So it'll be a take, and then he'll probably take with the queen, and then we'll obviously take back with the pawn, and then there'll be this whole trade-off. So it's not the worst of things. We was able to escape that. That's always something you've got to find out. If you're getting double attacked here, as we saw, we knew I couldn't take that. Now, I could have just moved back, but I wanted to play a little bit riskier here, and he's going to take, as I need to create some sort of tension in this position. And he actually had to take with rook, otherwise we had a nice fork there. So now we can take this pawn, and to be honest, I much prefer my position here. Bad knights, maybe this knight's nice if we can get to here. A very not so good bishop. And now he's going to get this rook. Now, I'd love him to trade rooks off here. And I think we're going to create a monster attack here again. And we're going to attack this pawn and pin now. As we're going to play queen to g3. Now, we get attacked, we can go straight back or even to h4 and maneuver ourselves away. So he can't attack us really. Obviously can't put a queen on any of these files because of the rook. And the only thing I can see here is this knight coming in to try and block. Then I think I'm going to bring my knight in. And if he tries to do a trade, we could always do stuff like this. I'll actually probably trade in this position because this d3 pawn, if it doesn't go, that's going to be very, very surprising. Now he is going to play this rook move. Now I didn't expect him to play that. It's a very nice move. Now I think we're just going to go back to h4. I think if he tries to attack us, we can always just retreat again. I'm not too worried about that as we are very low on time still. So we've just got to make our moves a little bit quicker. So that will happen in rapid. I do obviously want to speak what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to teach you guys as I'm playing along, trying to show you that this is what you'll also have in your games. Now, that's a nice move. I'm just thinking that can we attack straight away here? If we take, see the capture back there, kind of limits us. So, we're going to have to retreat a little bit now. Don't mind that at all. Retreating is not a bad thing all the time. It just means you're just changing your plan. And now we're going to change our plan as in, now we've got a protected knight now in the centre. But very, very difficult this game right now. This could be either side. I think his pieces have been quite limited here. So, obviously, we've got that extra rook for these two pieces. Just imagine it like that. Because right now, both of them they're doing nothing right now, these sort of amount of pieces. These two, the bishop can only move 2 squares here, as it's going to move there. Now, that's actually a nice idea. Although, he's got to move that knight now. So, I think we're going to move this knight or this knight. That's the big question. Now, I kind of like this knight protecting this side of things, so we're going to use this knight to attack now. And this is where you might see a trade-off. So we're getting right to the core of it now. Okay, so we're going to trade off now. Now, his ideas here we can play, so and try that. Okay, so got a very nice open rook now though. That's our rook for their 2 pieces. We're in a nice position, I think. We've got just our queen now needs to get more active. Can't really go there because of this line. As now, there you go. It's trying to get in now, this bishop. As I think we're going to now try and double up here. Okay. Could we try and push this pawn? I think we could. We're going to do that. We're going to stop this bishop and do this. So it stops that. Now, Southern Knight comes in. We've got to try and show some sort of attack. We're going to attack now here. I'm expecting this knight to come here, which we're going to actually have a really nice idea now coming up, which we're going to do straight away. We're going to try and pressure him now. What we do by this is we're just going to make moves fast, quickly. Hopefully I don't blunder, as he's going to play this, which technically could be a blunder for him, as there is a free pawn here, but is that a free pawn? As it does open up that, what's it called? The bishop. But I kind of just feel like moving back almost, as that knight can't move, so... Oh no, we're going to capture. We're going to capture. So I'm going to try and get a queen trade here, I think. About a minute down on time, but it's fine. As I'm expecting this to be a trade-off. I would be very surprised if he doesn't go for the swap here. The only thing I would say is we do have nice pressure on here. And obviously we would probably capture and open our rook up for pins here. So, it's looking good. I'd kind of hope he doesn't trade realistically, because I'd like this sort of position, get our queen no check, but I'm pretty sure he's forced to almost. If he doesn't, he only has that square. He might try and want us to trade, which I would hope might have to do depending on the position, As he is actually going to block now, weirdly, and attack our knight. So we're going to have to move the knight anyway, which is good because I wanted to put it in this exact position anyway. And that's going to kind of make it go about there. So that's quite good. Now there is actually a tactic on then. I could actually take this pawn, because if this takes, then I have check. And that's a very nice one, I think, because then I just win back the bishop. And forcing the king into a bit of a not nice square. If I do that and he moves just there, we can just trade, I think. Yep. Gonna have to try and play these moves, try and make him think. So if he takes now, we can just take back here. And it's going to be just like a queen trade, but we've gained that d3 pawn. We said we was going to win it sometime. It's another one of these long games, though, so sorry for the very long wait here. There's a very nice move here. Sacrificing our piece almost, just to trade it off. But stuff like that's what we have to do here. Now, actually, we could even see something better coming up here with this sort of idea. But I do think they can just block in time, so we won't do any of that. Now, this good thing is here, as we said here now, playing fast, we've actually gained that minute back. So, we might be able to just get something out of this. As he's actually going to trade queens now. So, he decides not to go for the trade. Now we've got a very nice open pawn here. I'm expecting these two to come off the board soon. But you see, it's his go again. And he's the one thinking. And now he's going to move the knight here. Not the knight, sorry, the king. So we're just going to move our rook here and try and go for an open file in a second. Although there's not too much open there. Maybe we should have kept that, because we had quite a nice block here. Now he's going to try and attack our knight. I'd like to keep the knight on the board preferably, but it looks like here we might have to get rid of it. Late on here. So we're just going to take everything off here. And we can't really get this up the board right now. Just going to move our king into play. Have to use the king as a piece. Just make sure our rook is well away from any weird diagonal sort of things here. Just going to play our rook up to attack this bishop. Again, we're still ahead on time. Could push, but I don't think that does anything. Just going to push this king up one. Now he's going to try and attack something here. Got to keep the pawns like that. And we're going to push this pawn now. I'm expecting this sort of thing to happen, but that would leave us to many open spaces here. And we're just going to play a rook here. Now, I like this move because now we're going to be able to start pushing, which is crucial here. He's going to have to move his king up now, I think. Or he's going to block first. Now, what we're going to do there is we're going to start pushing here. As there might be a check on soon. I think we actually have to push in this scenario. Unless there's a check. King moves up, check. I think that would work. No. Because there'd be a pin here. So we're just going to push for now. There might still be a check on here, but I don't think it's going to be as limiting. We're going to trade off stuff now. As we're going to see, I'm going to guess that goes back there. Now he's actually going to play this, as we can't attack obviously there. Just going to get our king pushed up now. If he does this, he's going to give us check. We just have to go back, and he's going to win that. So we're just going to move our rook away. And we're going to start trying to create other threats, like attack this pawn now while protecting still. Just going to take that pawn, and now he's going to capture there. And we're going to push this pawn. About as low time as he has, so we just got to really be crucial in our moves. Yes, that's fine, because there's a piece there, a pawn there that saved us. Right, they're dead. Move this. This is very drawn-like positions here, but there can always be, especially now I'm only a rook here, I could definitely be in a very bad scenario now. I was just trying to play some checks now, as he can't really attack us just yet. I was just going to give some more checks now. Forcing, yeah, another sort of move here. Just going to move our king over now. Oh, I just blundered my rook. Very silly. But this isn't a bad thing at all here, as he's now the one to move. And this could very well be a draw. As now he's just getting to the real core of it here. I think he's just going to sack. Not just yet. As it's definitely going to be a draw or a, what do you call it? It's a draw or a win for me, but it's going to be a draw. I don't think I had it in me to get a win. Low time. I didn't want to lose as well, because I think if I ran out of time, I believe it might have been a draw anyway, but I did have a brilliant move, but I had many blunders. Wow. I had loads of blunders at the end here. So I must have blundered. Where was it? So there's a little bit there, but it was right at the end where most of the blunders were. Let's just go through it. We saw this opening quite well. It was about point up, actually. They didn't really like this position for us in this scenario, but now this is where we are about point up, 2 points up here, 3 points at 1 point, but that they didn't like that at all. And now I think it's because my queen was just inactive, but it's still saying I'm up by quite a bit. And just looking here, they didn't like the trade at all. Oh, but there was a blunder here apparently, and I missed a queen check. So this would have been a huge move, because I guess we bring our knight in then. So I just did it in wrong order here. And they see the brilliant move that does make me actually a point up, they say. And I'm still actually up in this position. But just going to speed through it. I feel like here, that was the big blunder. I could have just pushed, because if I push, I have rook to d4 I've just seen. So if you take, I'm going to win that. So at least. So there was that I missed. And then, you know, this is all playing within 2 seconds each. So I just had to throw a load of moves out here. The reason that the percentage is so low is just because low on time you just have to play random moves. And for some reason I did not see at all that this was just going to take my rook, as I would have actually been up, they say here, because I actually had the pawn. And technically I'm still winning in this position by like 0.5, but I will definitely had lost this, so and it's fine. So I think a well-deserved draw. We both played to our best of abilities. I lost, I think, 1 rating there. That's fine. I'll take that any day. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Tomorrow we're going obviously with the new series. I'm also going to be posting all of these every day from Wednesday. Gambits on my TikTok as well, so you can always go and watch some of those. And hopefully you enjoyed today's video. So thank you and bye bye.